Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers all around the world. Welcome to King Sotso. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, Mr. King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengenenge. And we're back at it again with another one. And I just wanted to cover something that I discovered on the Umkhonto weSizwe Facebook page. Probably I can just put the Facebook page here and then you guys can see something. You know, when it comes to campaigning and when it comes to mobilizing voters for, especially registering voters for the smaller, newer parties, you have to do it every week. You can't wait for Julius Malema to come to your area before you can mobilize. It doesn't work like that. A true community leader mobilizes and makes sure that they campaign even when the so-called head of the party is not around. You know, it's not what you do when the cameras are on, but it's actually what you do when nobody's watching that counts. Actually, that's a boxing saying. In boxing, we say it's not what you do in the gym when the coach is watching. It's what you do when you are alone and nobody's there to see you. The extra work that you put in. So I was very impressed. I interviewed Thabo Modupe here in Kimberley because I saw that they had a meet and greet session in Pick and Pay Circle here in Khalishiwe. And I thought to myself, wow, man, how can these people have an event without Jacob Zuma being around? How is the turnout going to be? You know, but okay, let me just interview him because he's a big guy. He was a big guy in the ANC. I told you guys even had a street name named after him. So it was a big deal for me to finally meet him. It was the first time meeting him. Funny enough, because all my business partners have worked with him, but I've never worked with him. So it was the first time meeting him, and I encourage you to go and watch that interview that I did with Thabo Modupe. So as I was going through the Facebook page of Umkhonto weSizwe, of which we don't know which one actually is the official one. I'm just going according to the one that has the most followers. Then I consider that as the main page to follow. I saw that these people had over 15 events around the country at the same time. At the same time, I'm not exaggerating. Look at the dates. Look at the times. These people were meeting, having motorcades. You understand? And having meet and greets like nobody's business. Now, if those events are not successful, probably they'll do 200 people, 500 people, less than 1,000 people. But if you add those people on every area, and you add the fact that you were in the presence of the people, meaning the brand was in front of the people passing with a motorcade, hitting the horn, playing music, and displaying the Umkhonto weSizwe logo, that is enough to make someone think about Umkhonto weSizwe, even though they were not thinking about Umkhonto weSizwe, not considering. And you might be a very famous person, a person that has been looked up to in the community, and they see your car branded with Umkhonto weSizwe, the flag of Umkhonto weSizwe, the t-shirts of Umkhonto weSizwe, and they're like, wow, if that person is following Umkhonto weSizwe, there must be something about Umkhonto weSizwe. This is what we talk about when we talk about serious campaigning. And I'm not here to blow the horn of Umkhonto weSizwe. I'm here to blow the horn of the efforts on the ground. The efforts on the ground, to me, they count. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the people that can act without leadership forcing them to act. Remember, there is no structure in Umkhonto weSizwe. There is no structure. There's no provincial structure. There's no regional structure. There's not even a national structure. We know the interim president is Jabulani Khumalo, but We don't know much more about it. He's the interim president because he's the one that registered the party. And he said in January they will appoint a top 6 in a radio interview. That's what he said. So I'm very interested. In fact, I can just play you a small clip where he says that, so that you don't have to take my word. We have to always bring the receipts, because we don't freestyle here, we research. Listen to this.
Okay. Asikubingelela sawubona kunjani ekseni emsakazweni izilo Mzansi?
Njomane no baba uMntungwa noZilongane ngiyanibingelela.
Baba.
Ungubokhe lo. Baba uMntungwa ngicela ukuzwa ukuthi njengoba ukujwayelekile umuntu osezoba ifounder yeqembu sekuzoba ulo usuke kuyena ozoba president. Ngabe nakunina kuzoba njalo mhlambe no vice president mhlambe ngabe into enjalo nakho umbuzo loyo. 2 lapha empendle nikwazile ni mhlambe niyazama ukuthi nixhumana abantu abafana noRussell Mvubu abokubona benze ukuthi ngesikhathi awuni ukhetho ngo100% endaweni. 3 amandiya nizowajoyinise nenhlanganweni yenu MK. Ngiyabonga baba.
All right, sure. Nokulungile sibonge kakhulu. Emsakazweni yakhe izwi lo Mzansi 98.0. Hlamba awuvesane uphendule umuntu ngobuhlukene kathathe lo mbuzo.
Okay baba.
Yes.
Ngibonga nje man. Cha, ulokuqala indabeni ye-founder ayisebenzi kanjalo ezingisingishilo ukuthi thina asikholelwa ukuthi ngoba nakho sephepheni ikhona sekufanele uyahola. Into esifunayo sifuna ubuholi. Umholi sizombeka ngoJanuary.
Okay.
Ukuthi ubani ozoba umholi weqembu. Ngise umholi kwamanje as a founder, but after i-congress yethu sobe sesiya announce ukuthi ubani ngempela oholi iqembu.
Yeah, so we are almost in the middle of January. We are still waiting for them to announce the top 6 or the top structure of Mkhonto weSizwe. We don't know how it's going to look, and we're expecting them to drop the names very soon. And looks like the interim president Jabulani Khumalo will obviously be part of that top 6, either in the portfolio or in the position rather of interim president, while Jacob Zuma becomes the face of the campaigning, and the others, we don't know what's going to happen, or Jacob Zuma will be the president, or we don't know what is going to happen. We're waiting to hear from this gentleman. But for me, if I was Mkhonto weSizwe, I would be careful in terms of that. I will announce Jacob Zuma as the interim president to make sure that people don't question Jabulani Khumalo that much, because he's an unknown for most of the people in South Africa when it comes to politics. So for me, I will put him as vice president. I'll put Jacob Zuma as the president, and then slot in the other guys there in the top 5, top 6, whatever they're going to have in terms of their structure. But for me, I want to applaud Mkhonto weSizwe, what do you call them? The ground forces or whatever they call themselves, being there running without being pushed. All the political parties need this. All the political parties. Don't wait for Julius Malema to come before you make a noise in your hood. No. It's not necessary. You, the community, ought to have confidence in you, the leader, because you stay in their community, because you are trustworthy in their community, because you are reliable in their community before the national structures come. In fact, when the national structures come, when you are introducing people on stage or whatever, or when you are introduced on stage as the local leader, they need to make more noise for you than they are making for Julius Malema, because you are the one that leads them on the ground. That's how I feel. That's how I feel leaders should be treated, and that's how I feel leaders should be committed to their community. So Mkhonto weSizwe, with all of those events back to back. I mean, 13 January was big. 13 January, most of us were just looking up forward to the January 8th statement. We didn't care about anything else. But when you're a content creator, you need to search the whole pool. And I found out that Mkhonto weSizwe is busy. It's busy. I'm always on these people's social media pages. Always researching, reading, listening, watching. It's very important as a content creator to be informed as much as possible. We ought to read all the time. So you guys tell me, what do you think about Mkhonto Wesizwe strategy of people just working day in, week in and week out without the presence of Msholozi? So when Msholozi come, it will be like the ground is already fertile, and when he comes, they are ready to run because they know themselves, they know who to call and whatever, and they can just give the people who have signed in new tasks to say each one reach one, each one invite 2 people, each one, and then they go, and then the next thing, a venue is full. And one thing I would like to from Mkhonto Wesizwe to do is not allow the election to arrive before they select a stadium to go to and deliver their manifesto for the 2024 election. They need to do it in the stadium. They need to show their muscle in the stadium. That's how I feel. Anyway, thank you so for watching, guys. If you are new, please consider to subscribe. This is a Pan-Africanist channel where we believe and advocate for one land, one Africa, one land, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one army. That's what we advocate for in this channel. If you like those type of things, Africans uniting, you are at home. Please click the like button, comment on the comment section, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. Peace in Pan-Africanism. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray African child. But after you pray, stand up and do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.